Good day and welcome to our incredibly sunny review of Royal Black all-weather tires. Now you might think, hey, I need a set of tires, but I don't want to spend $800, $900, $1,500 on a set. But I also don't want to buy just junk. Well, what you probably don't realize is that the tires that get out of China and make it to Canada, the US, Europe, UK, so on and so forth, aren't cheap Chinese tires, because to export their tires, Chinese manufacturers need to meet all of the international standards. In the United States and Canada, that means Department of Transportation or DOT standard specification. In Europe, they have to meet the ECE, Economic Commission for Europe specifications. And if they don't, they can't sell them. Royal Black, Royal AS2 tires are certified for use in Canada, the US, and practically the whole rest of the world. These tires were purchased from a company called Canada Tire Pro. They're in Calgary and Edmonton. I've used them 4 times now. Great company. Never had a problem with them. Never had a problem with the tires. Always bought Royal AS from them, that is. I used to buy tires like everybody else from Fountain Tire and Goodyear and Costco, but I just don't want to spend $800, $900, $1,000 on a set. And I've proven over the years that these Royal AS2 tires are really quality products. What's great about them is they're all weather tires, not all season. That means you get the insurance discount for having the little 3-peak snowflake. Yay, that's a big deal. It'll save you $40 to $60 a year depending on how much your insurance is. But what you really need to know is it's not just about the savings, it's about the quality of the tire. All weather tires are made from a special rubber compound that doesn't melt in the summer or get rock hard in the winter. So you're not bouncing down the road. And when you put on the brakes, it'll actually grip and stop. Are they as good as true winter tires? No, but they're an awful lot better than all-season tires. They're better also for the environment, not just the handling and the cornering. They also save you money changing your tires out in the spring and the fall if you live in a northern climate like I do. I'm in Calgary, Alberta. And that gets to a good point about these particular tires. The big reason these Royal Black tires are so much less expensive than the brands you know, Goodyear, Dunlop, Firestone, so on and so forth, is because they don't have a marketing budget and they don't have expensive stores. So if you want to pay for those things, go right ahead. There's nothing wrong with the Dunlop or a Goodyear tire. They make a great product. But don't discount the Royal Black tires thinking that they're just garbage. They're not. As I said, I'm on my 4th set with various cars that I've owned, and I haven't had a problem with a single one. Let's take a quick look around Canada Tire Pro warehouse, and you'll see they have an enormous inventory. And when you show up, what they do is ask you a couple of quick questions and grab you some tires. This is not a 45-minute consultation. Most people that show up to these places already know what they want. But if you don't, they are willing to help, and they'll give you that basic consultation to find you the tires you need. And unlike a lot of places, they don't have to get them from the warehouse. They are the warehouse. They've got them in stock. Just look at these prices. $271 for a set of 4. My tires were $336. They were a little bit larger than most. So here's your standard tire specification. In case you're rolling your eyes thinking, oh, I know this inside and out, we're going to go over it very quickly, except the last 2 numbers that you might need to pay attention to because things have changed. So you've got your typical 195, 55 R16s, and you can see here what that is. The first number is your tire width in millimeters, then there's the height. There always are radial construction. That's all you can buy these days. And then 16 is the rim diameter. If you buy tires that fit your rim, you know, the R16 here, but have different section width and aspect ratios, the tires will work fine generally. However, your speedometer might not be correct. So you want to get it right. And there's very little price difference between one size of tire and another. Now here's where it gets tricky. There's numbers at the end that you've probably ignored. So in my case, I have a 2022 Mustang Mach-E EV. And the tires I was looking at had a load rating of 99. That's the Royal Black AS. Can't use them because my car requires a load rating of 103. Look, now nearly all normal standard passenger vehicles have a load rating between 90 and 100. The heavier ones like mine and some bigger SUVs, well, they've got more, so it's 103, which means it needs to carry 1,929 pounds. If you take the weight of your vehicle and you divide by 4, it should work out to at least that number, correct? No, it needs to be more than that. Because where you really need your tires is hard cornering and emergency braking. That's why the number won't be a simple division of your vehicle's weight divided by 4. This is an engineering calculation, so you want to get that right. Now, as you can see, I am putting these Royal Black AS tires on my daughter's 2014 Chevy Volt, and 99 is perfect for that. In fact, it only needs a load capacity of 94. So they're way over what's needed for that. So it's only these sort of specialty vehicles or these heavier vehicles that you really need to care about that load index. And there's also an additional designation on some vehicles, which is LL or XL. And the XL is what I need for my EV. And what that means is the tire has a stronger construction than a normal tire. And you can see here, look, these Royal Black AS do have the XL rating. And that gets to the last measurement number, which is the W. The W is the speed rating. How fast can the vehicle go before the tire shreds? And again, for most people, it's irrelevant. The tires are going to be spec'd far beyond what you will ever drive. However, if you have a performance vehicle, including an EV like I have, you need to care. Now you can see the tires I bought, the Royal Black AS, had a W. It's 207 kilometers an hour. That's your exotic sports car category. I think I'm good with the Royal Black tires. So if you haven't got the idea yet that these Royal Black tires will stand up, yeah, they will. They meet the specs and they last. They're a good tire. Okay, so here we are with beautiful new Royal Black tires on. And I'm driving down a road I drove down previously, and I'm getting the numbers you see on the screen here for decibels in the car, basically how loud the tires are. And you can see these tires are about 10 decibels quieter than my last tires. I'll be back in a few weeks with a winter review of these tires, but all-weather tires are pretty amazing. So look, what do we think of these Royal Black AS tires? Well, pretty darn impressed. Look, these tires may not be as good as Bridgestones or Firestones or BF Goodrich or Dunlops, but they are literally half to a third the price. Now, as far as the actual quality of the tire goes, they're great. I've driven these in the winter, I've driven these in the summer. All weather is the way to go. If you're in a really crazy winter place, like say Northern Ontario or upstate New York or something, sure, all weather tires are not as good as winters. No doubt about it. However, they're way better than all seasons. And as far as retailers go, I went to a little company called
Canada Tire Pro.
And they have that massive warehouse I just showed you. And that's one of the reasons the cost is less. Go to a little guy. These are family-run small businesses. You're helping the local community. You're helping entrepreneurs. And in today's world, we can all get behind that, I think. Canadian Tire Pros, I've dealt with them now, I think 4 times. And I love them. They've just been really good with me every single time. I look up online to see what they have. I order them, I go and pick them up. Just that easy. No hassles, I'm in and out in 5 minutes, not like a Fountain Tire or, you know, these Goodyear stores where you can spend half an hour in line just before you even get to talk to somebody. Hey, so if you have Royal Black tires, leave your comments below. Tell us what you think. Did they last? Were they prone to failures? While I've had several sets of these, and they've been very good for me, it doesn't mean that it's the same for everybody. So I'd really like to hear what you have to say. Well, more importantly, other people would like to hear what you have to say. So please leave your comments below if you have any Royal Black tires, if you've used them over the years, and what your experience has been. Hey, so if you found the video useful, big thumbs up would be super appreciated. So would subscribe, by the way. It really does help with the Google algorithms. If you have any questions or concerns, you can always get a hold of us directly at www.urtech, that's www.urtech.ca, or you can leave a question or comment below, and if we don't get back to you, somebody else will, because on YouTube, everybody's got an opinion.